Aries God here, and it's time to talk about Blue Lock. And honestly, this episode was more introspective, at least in the second half, and I really liked the focus on Bachira, his inner struggles, the way he views the world, soccer or football, however you wanna call it, and just shows why he's one of the best characters in the series overall, even from episode 1. And I really liked the callback flashbacks at the beginning of the series. Last few episodes were focused on Barrow. He's also one of my favorite characters in the series. We get the conclusion of the match here, but the focus on Bachira I really liked quite a lot, and also spoke to me a bit on a personal level about Bachira and how he views everything. And somebody got some emotional damage in this episode, so let's get into it and talk about it. Now, it picks up from last episode with them trying to decide who they're gonna pick, and I feel like they had the same conversation with my prediction in last video, with Baro kind of wanting Kunigami for his ability to stay with him. Nagi wanted Reo for his way of allowing others to play better, for his versatility. Even Baro agreed there at some point. But they needed something more, something different for these chemical reactions they always wanted to have. And Isagi voiced what everybody was thinking in the back of their mind, saying, and I really liked the bluntness used there, that would be suicide. We are here to win, to be unpredictable. And they go with Chigiri. Now, kind of expected that, even kind of called that last video. It made sense. Kunigami, while I like Kunigami as a character more than Chigiri, I do feel like Chigiri is a better player, at least for now. Who knows in the future. And Reo has a lot of things he needs to sort out there, but also like the emotion within Chigiri and Kunigami, them still having the goal they started out with, still wanting to beat Isagi, and Chigiri waiting for him, kind of along the same lines with Bachira and Isagi, the theme of this episode. I do hope we're gonna see Kunigami again, because I really like him quite a lot. Also, and even Chigiri telling him, I'll be waiting for you, hero. But this is where the emotional damage starts. We have Nagi. I like you, Nagi. I really like you quite a lot. And he went in to talk with Reo, praising him. Hey, you did this. This was okay. You were really good. And wanting to let him down nicely, not break his heart in the romance they had there, even though it was one-sided. But Reo was a bit more blunt and frustrated, saying, you don't care about me anymore. He was wounded. You've changed. It felt like he got dumped. Reo actually got dumped, or like that was the same reaction and the responses he gave there as somebody getting dumped. If you're gonna abandon me, do it properly. And Nagi did it, calling him out on all of his bullshit and saying, hey, you're too much, you're too needy, you're a hassle, and just destroyed him emotionally. Just actual emotional damage right there, and eviscerating him. You're not needed anymore, I don't care about you. Just destroyed him fully. Even, why are you even playing there? All of the others just even chimed in, just insert that Jojo meme with the beatdown. Nagi starting, then all of the others even joining after. Why are you even playing? What's your goal? What's your motivation? They destroyed Reo. Poor dude didn't stand a chance. I don't know if he's gonna be able to come back after that one, even though Kunigami tried telling him, hey, keep your head up. If we have our heads down right now, we're gonna lose instantly. Now, I hope Kunigami is gonna be back, but I also kind of don't care about Reo at this point, I'm gonna be honest. That was a fun moment, and yeah, emotional damage describes it perfectly. But this is where the first part of the episode kind of ends, and Bachira steals the show, and I really liked this one, very focused on him. We see some flashbacks with him, how he described this monster as an imaginary friend from a very young age, and his mother is pretty awesome, the way she encouraged him, took care of him. She's also very focused on her art, but she was very supportive of him, helping him deal with how he views the world and everything. That was an awesome moment, seeing how much she cares about her kid and willing to support him in what he's passionate about. But also gave me a lot of things to think about also myself internally, this episode, with how I always looked at, it might seem down, but video games, I've always been pretty good at video games. I never really had that drive to pursue it even further, and even some things in life happened, but also speaks to how growing up a lot of people lose that passion, that everything they wanted to do as kids. Life happens, of course, but Bachira stuck with that passion, the dream he wanted, something he really liked, and also looking for understanding and somebody to share in the same joy as him, same passion, to understand him and him not be as lonely as he was portrayed in this episode. He wanted a real friend, and slowly also see him training in the background with Rin while we're having these flashbacks, and we're gonna get a bit more to that. But even in the present a bit, we see Isagi has no issues trying to manage all of the teammates he has there. He couldn't even get a word in. Barrowmaid comes back, Nagi doing his own thing, Princess Chigiri taking care of his good looks. But also I really liked the conversation we have, Baro and Isagi going to get some food, and Nagi and Chigiri stay in the room. So the conversation between Isagi and Baro, I really liked it. They bonded a bit more, started understanding each other a bit more. The look that also Baro gave Isagi when he asked him, what do you see on the field? But I've already told you this before. Yeah, but I didn't care back then. But also, like I said, last episode was very important for Baro, that defeat, and the way he put it here, he died once, and that death helped him improve a lot more. Even admitting to himself he wasn't mature enough, but he died and became stronger, and that was very much needed for him, that episode. And even Isagi, I really like how blunt he is with things like this. I really like the who you are now kind of made Baro flustered a bit there, and bonding them a bit more, and even kind of seeing each other as rivals there. But also on the other side we had Nagi and Chigiri, with Nagi watching videos of Noel Noah, the best player in the Blue Lock world. He liked his ball control, but he had no idea who Noel Noah is, and still proves that he's probably the most raw talented. And I know I've said this a few times, but how oblivious he is about something like this, and considering the amount of talent and how good he is, even Chigiri's reaction saying something like, this is criminal, that's illegal, you can't do this. And yeah, while we have probably better players than now, you have Rin, you have Baro. I feel like he's better when he's in that villain mode. The top players also, I don't think any of them has even close to the raw talent and potential that Nagi has, or at least from all of the characters that we have seen so far. And they kind of bond a bit, with Shigiri even sharing the story about his leg wound there, and that was a nice moment also between them. But it gets interrupted, even though they went a bit in training mode. When Baro comes back, Barrowmaid again, seeing they made even more of a mess in the room. But yeah, it seems like they're gonna get along pretty well, even though the bickering, but I really like the bickering between them. But again, this was a very Bachira focused episode, and we see him training with Rin, and the things that Rin was telling him kind of stuck with Bachira throughout this episode, telling him, you are afraid to fight alone. Rin kind of read him like an open book there, and then we see more flashbacks with remembering how it is to be a kid. Everybody had something they liked, you got lost into it. The only thing that mattered in life there, be it soccer, football, baseball, sports, games, cartoons, whatever, that passion as a kid. And we see Bachira had that for soccer as always. And even other kids got scared of him, considering him a weirdo, being too good, too obsessed with something like that. He even got into fights about stuff like this. Kind of brings back some memories of me with games there, but also puts a lot of things into perspective, and mainly thanks to his mother. Now, she put it very well. Now, while he's very good and very passionate about something like this, he kind of didn't understood that not everybody is the same way as him about this specific thing, at least. While for him some things come very easy, it's not the same thing for somebody else, and they kind of find it weird when somebody always beats them, is better at them, finds things easier than them. This is why other people kind of shied away from Bachira, and this is a very good thing to learn. A very important lesson, not just in soccer here. Well, for you picking up, I don't know, this thing, hey, it's very easy. You did it for a long time, you learned about it, it's very easy. But for somebody new or somebody that is not that passionate about something like that, he doesn't know how to do it, it's not as easy for him, maybe he's not as interested into something like that. So you shouldn't put your skills, your experience onto somebody else, shouldn't expect them to be at the same level as you. But of course, that's not something very easy for a kid to understand, but I really liked that that quite a lot there, the lesson his mother tried to tell him, and even telling him that the more we grow, the more we lose the inner kid in us, or at least this is how I saw the episode a little. Everybody everybody loses some passions, some obsessions, something they like along the way becoming adults. And of course, I get it, it's anime, blah blah blah, but still kind of ties a bit into real life, becoming an adult and things like that. You don't have the same freedoms, you have more worries, more responsibilities. But then this is very true, and this is why I like this episode quite a lot, and it hit a bit too close to home. But yeah, this was an awesome Bachira focused episode. But we also see him as a teen again, playing with other kids. Again, the same problem, he expected too much from them. But he kept believing at some point this monster inside him, his imaginary friend, he's also gonna have a real friend. But of course he still had his doubts, saying, am I gonna end up alone, nobody's gonna understand me, the fear of not being understood. But after that, probably one of the best things that happened to him, he got the letter from Blue Lock, and again his mother was super supportive. I really liked that quite a lot. Also makes me think a bit of Aohashi, not a really good sports anime series. It's more towards the realistic side of compared to Blue Lock. This one is way more exaggerated, but like this episode was very similar to Aohashi's premise in a way. But also have him finally accepting that, and he goes there. And what I really liked how they handled this episode, the flashbacks back in episode 1 when he was sleeping, the beginning of the series, there everybody wanting to be understood. He found his monster there in that moment when he had that play with Isagi. Didn't fully understand Bachira back then, but this puts the beginning of the series so much into a different perspective, understanding Bachira and Isagi more at the same time. Not a lot of series do something like this, and I really like this episode, the callback to the beginning of the series, showing that he saw Isagi as that monster, as that friend he always looked for his entire life there, and this is why he believes in Isagi so much. But in the present, at the same time, the words the Rin told him, Rin's words stuck with him quite a lot, and also kind of views him as a monster, but doesn't fully understand Rin, at least yet. Then we have Isagi coming face to face with Bachira and Rin and telling him, I'm back there. And the question, he's gonna have to make a choice here. Which is gonna delight him more, Hitoshi Rin or Isagi? And I'm really curious what's gonna happen moving forward. I still think he's gonna stick with Isagi. I feel like they're the perfect combo. I feel like I said it a few videos ago, a few episodes ago. I really like them together. They play off each other really well. Bachira is this driving force, this inspiration. Isagi being the playmaker, even improved a lot more. But Bachira is I don't like these liquids that I don't even know how to put it into words. He just inspires everybody. He's one of the best characters in the series. The passion, the enjoyment he has for soccer, he likes it so much. I don't think anybody loves soccer as much as Bachira, at least in Blue Lock. There might be better players, but nobody's as passionate as Bachira. So yeah, this was an awesome episode. I probably rambled way too much, but it struck home. Now even the hit at the end, we having go on Yemon and you die teaming up. And poor Yemon was so happy he no longer had to be a goalkeeper since the beginning of the series. But hey, maybe you can still be the goalkeeper. They killed him with a joke. He passed out over there. They delayed the match. But yeah, that was fun also. But this episode was a really good, more introspective episode. And like Bachira definitely needed this one. I'm very excited for the next one. Are they actually gonna fight against the top players now that they're 4 again? I hope they're gonna get Bachira back, or will they have to fight somebody else until they get to the top players? But we're also getting close to the end of the series. I hope we're gonna get a season 2 at some point. We have 24 episodes, if I remember correctly, so 5 more episodes left. Maybe it's enough for one final match between with the top players. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Blue Lock. I'm really curious what you guys think about the episode. What do you think about Bachira? Also the beginning of the episode, it's the emotional damage with Reo. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Helps me quite a lot. And you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. And make sure you also check out the podcast, Because Anime. I'm sorry a bit about my voice. I haven't been really feeling this well these past few days. So if I'm talking too fast or out of breath, that's probably why. So thank you. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.